Let's try. There we go. Let's see if this is working. Also, I should probably... Alright, actually I should probably go to the stream, and I probably need better lighting as well. It's just because yeah. And then just one sec, guys. Alright, perfect. Alright, so should we move this over to here? No, or maybe up here. Oh, it looks actually pretty good. Alright, no, I kind of like it down to here again. Let's make the webcam a little bit smaller. How's it going, everybody? So, today is going to be a pretty interesting video. So, you guys probably saw my video on YouTube, probably. Maybe, I don't know if you did, but most of you viewers probably saw my video on talking about Xiaomi and the downfall of OnePlus flagships and all that stuff. So, I'm going to go... First of all, I'm going to do talking about tech, and then I'm also going to talk about some stuff about Xiaomi. There might actually be some news about Xiaomi in talking about tech. So, yeah. Oh my god, why is the exposure so bad? Okay, this is so annoying. Because, like, usually I would be doing this at, like, 3 or 4 or 5 p.m., and usually, you know, the sun is over there, and then it's not that bad. But since it's directly above, it's, yeah, really, really not good. I could try this. Okay. I guess we could do that. So, how's it going, everybody? Whoever's on here. I haven't actually checked who's on here yet. So, let's check right now, I guess. Okay, good. So, at least I know my... Let's check right... Oh, hey, so, 2 people are live now. Alright, so this is going to be a pretty interesting video, and yeah, but let's just start off right off the bat with GSM Arena. This is, by the way, I completely recommend this site here, because this is probably one of my favorite tech sites, probably of all the tech sites, and yeah, so let's go into the news. So let's see what's been happening. Well, I already know what's been happening, but you know. So let's go into full screen. Hopefully you guys can see this. If you guys can't see this, just let me know in the comments below. And yeah, let's start off with probably one of the biggest news. So first of all, the Galaxy F41 has gotten revealed with a 6,000 milliamp hour battery and a 64 megapixel camera, and it is cheaper than the M31, which, if you don't know what the M31 is, it's part of the M series for the Galaxy phones. And so it's only available in India so far right now. And also the Galaxy F41 is. So I believe this is supposed to be a more of a camera-focused phone. That's what I've heard. And it kind of shows it here. Like, it's like one of the main features is the 64 megapixel camera. Now, this 64 megapixel camera is pretty good. But you've also got a 8 megapixel ultra-wide camera that's pretty nice, and then you've also got a 5 megapixel live focus camera, which, if you don't know what that is a depth camera, which is actually completely fine. I have been complaining about depth cameras, but considering it's 5 megapixels, shouldn't be that bad. And I mean, I wish they did a telephoto camera, but it's fine. It seems like the notch is very, very small. I don't know what the exactly the full specifications, because I haven't really seen any hands-on videos of it, and usually I can get a better idea. But what I've seen so far is that, first of all, it comes with a 15-watt charger. So it could charge actually pretty slowly, in my opinion, considering it's, you know, I mean, I guess it's fine for, like, for a cheaper phone, 15-watt charger, but for other phones around this price range, you could get 30-watt chargers, like the Realme 6, for instance. But with this, you are getting a AMOLED display with a 1080p plus resolution, which is also known as FHD plus. And it also has pretty good, I believe, colors, yeah. And peak brightness is 420 nits. Doesn't sound that good, in my opinion, because comparing to most AMOLED screens, I believe usually they can get to about 550 nits, but we'll see in the full, when people are actually reviewing this and stuff like that. Seems like a pretty good device. The only complaints that I would have is that it doesn't have a high refresh screen. It doesn't have that much storage. It has a good amount of RAM though, and it's running on One UI Core, so it doesn't have the full One UI. It has most of the features of One UI, but it doesn't have all the features of One UI. So that is one thing to keep in mind. But most of the things that you're going to be using One UI anyway should be there, from flagships. And then, unfortunately, there is no 256 gigabyte option, which would have been nice, or 8 gigabytes of RAM option. And we're also sticking with the Exynos 9611, which is on most mid-range Galaxy phones. So it was kind of expected, but I would have at least liked the Snapdragon 730G as the Galaxy M51 had it, which was pretty nice. But let's actually see how much 15,500 Indian rupees is, because I didn't actually see this before. So let's actually see. 15,500 Indian rupees, $211. So let's compare some compare some phones to this device for $211. So I think one of the biggest options is going to be the Realme 7. So the Realme 7, I believe, is about $170, so a little bit cheaper. And then you're also getting a 90 Hz screen with that. However, you're getting IPS LCD screen, so not as good there. And then you're also probably not getting as good cameras, in my opinion, just because Samsung has a little bit better image processing, in my opinion, than Realme's image processing. And also, I would say that probably the ones that's going to be globally available is the Realme 7, since now they officially have a global edition of the phone. The next option that probably most people will think of is the Realme 7 Pro. Now, this has a Super AMOLED display, 1080p, and so it's the same kind of display, and you're getting Android 10 with Realme's UI. So I would say that Realme's UI is more stock, but it's really, someone's either person's preference, whoever's deciding to buy the phone. And yeah, I'm pretty sure most people will be happy with this phone in India. However, for the US, this is not going to be available. I'm pretty sure you can import this device on, you probably import this device from like eBay or probably Giztop or something like that. But something like, from Samsung's actual website, you can't. So that's kind of sad. But yeah, and it's interesting that it only has 3 cameras compared to most M series phones that have, 4 cameras. Then, it's not that good. I wonder, actually, if they're going to make like an F71. That would be a pretty interesting idea, because, in my opinion, we kind of need more of a higher-end Samsung phone with, like, a good camera. So you should, like, in my opinion, I think they should make a Samsung Galaxy F71 with maybe a Snapdragon 750G, as well as the same maybe 6,000 milliamp hour battery, and with maybe a telephoto camera, and then that would be it, and maybe a more premium design. But I don't think you would need like OIS or anything. It would just be like a pretty good, solid Samsung device. You don't really need any high refresh rate for these Samsung devices, as they only put it in the really, really high-end devices. Not even the Galaxy Note 20 has it, and that's $999. So yeah, so that is the first news, and let's talk about the second news. Oh, this is a really, really big one. So this is the Sony PlayStation 5 Teardown reveals massive heat sink and liquid metal. So actually, they PlayStation themselves, like the owners of PlayStation, they did a video of the teardown, and as you could see, just from the comparison from him to this PlayStation 5, the PlayStation 5 is a huge console. I mean, at least compared to him. Now, I don't know how big it actually is, but it's really big. And then inside, there's actually something really important about that, because inside you got a really good fan, like a huge fan that will cool the PlayStation 5 down. And I believe you could probably see it. Is that? No, that's the stand. This is the fan right here. This is a huge fan right here. Most fans are really tiny. They're also putting a pretty good CPU here, an x86-64 AMD Ryzen Zen 2. Now, I haven't seen this actually perform in, like, benchmarks or anything like that, in computers or anything, but it should be very powerful because it can do 120 FPS gaming. Someone did leak 120 FPS gaming on some sort of YouTube channel, so yeah. So that was some pretty big news for the PlayStation 5. In my opinion, I'm not going to buy either one, just because you probably should stick, if you have like an Xbox One or, a PlayStation 4, those are going to be completely fine, because you're getting still like all the games probably for the next 2-3 years, and then you're also still getting 60 FPS gaming and things like that, so it's still going to be really good, and so it shouldn't be really big of a, big issue if you decide not to upgrade. So, yeah, let's talk about, where is the next one? Oh, this one's pretty big. So this is a report from a leaker, and he says that the iPhone notch is here to stay for 2 more years. So he actually did a little bit of a sketch here showing the iPhone 12 with this notch, and then the iPhone 13's notch should be quite a bit smaller. However, compared to, um, uh, hole punch cameras that we have, it still is a pretty big bezel in my opinion. However, it should look a lot nicer. I mean, this looks like really good compared to this. So, yeah, because as you can see right now, the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro, I believe this is a photo of, or maybe the iPhone XS, who cares? We've had the same kind of notch, and this notch is really huge, but just imagine this notch being cut down maybe by half, and being a little bit slimmer bezels as well. So that's what the iPhone 13 is going to look like. However, the iPhone 12 notch is going to stay the same. It's going to appear smaller, but that's just because the phones are going to be bigger. Now, there was a report that the iPhone 12 5.4 inch was going to have a, a bigger notch, or no, a smaller notch, but that's actually not true. It just looks smaller, I believe. So that's what I've been seeing so far. Now let's go to the next thing in news. This is a pretty big one. This is that Qualcomm is actually developing its own gaming smartphone in partnership with Asus. So we know Asus from their Asus ROG Phone 2, 3, and their first generation. I think one of my favorite ones was probably the Asus ROG Phone 2. I was really impressed with that one. The Asus ROG Phone 3 was a really good upgrade, but the Asus ROG Phone 2 was a much bigger upgrade from the Asus ROG Phone 1. So that was just my opinion, and I was almost considering buying that over the OnePlus 7 Pro here, but I decided to stick with my OnePlus 7 Pro and instead, not buy the Asus ROG Phone 2. But anyway, so Qualcomm could be making a smartphone, which is actually pretty interesting, because I believe the last time Qualcomm actually made a smartphone, I heard, was in the 90s, I believe, the last time they made a smartphone, so pretty long time ago. But anyway, it should be a gaming phone with really good cooling, high refresh rate display, so most likely 120 Hz or 144 Hz, and that display should be AMOLED. A pretty large battery, probably like 6,000, maybe 7,000 milliamp hours, as well as custom controls and more. So that means like gaming controls that you put up the sides of your phone. Maybe that would be it as accessory. And yeah, that should be pretty nice. So yeah, pretty interesting there. So let's go to the next thing in news. I just want to make sure if I didn't miss anything here. No, not really. I don't think I put that. No, I didn't put that. Um, let's see here. Where is the next amount of news? Oh, here we go. So we're talking about Xiaomi, just like I said, and the Redmi Earbuds 2C and the Redmi Sonic Base has been announced, and so these are really, really, really inexpensive earphones. They're like crazy inexpensive, just like all these Redmi buds that they've made, or I think Xiaomi buds. They make really, really inexpensive ones. I believe the AirBuds one though was pretty expensive. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I think it was like 70, 80 bucks. But besides that, most of these have been really cheap. And this one specifically is $18 on launch day. And then, which I think it's been past launch day. I think we're on October 8th. I completely forgot. October 8th. So you'll be able to get it for 20 bucks, which is pretty impressive considering what you're getting. You're getting, first of all, sweat and splash proof resistance. So let's just say you encounter a rainstorm, or if you're sweating, then this will be really great and it'll still work completely fine. You're getting a pretty nice design, and it seems like it may have some sort of magnets, so it looks nice. I don't know if that's just me, it just looks like it. These are completely wireless, so they don't have any kind of, bands anywhere around it. You know how some of them, like the OnePlus Bluetooth wireless, they have, oh, something like this. Here we go. Actually, this is exactly what it looks like. Moving on to this one is the Redmi Sonic Base, and this actually looks exactly like the, here, actually, I want to see who's in the comments right now, because I'm just curious. Tamaj Ada, also known as Rolamandos. I can't say that. Hi. If we are starting Aragonese festivity. It feels outdated, and I think that smartphones are in a bad era. There's almost no improvements. I think it will improve. 70, 80 bucks is cheap compared to Apple AirPods. Yeah, it's actually cheaper than Apple AirPods. This is like most of the things are, but they had some pretty big caveats. But yeah, let's talk about this, and this is actually really impressive because mostly because the 9.2 drivers, because those are really, really important. I think my Bluetooth wireless has 9.4 drivers, so I think this might be a little bit worse, but still really, really impressive. As well as 12 hours of playback, so not as good as my Bluetooth wireless. And yeah, but I probably won't be getting these just because they don't seem that impressive compared to other ones. So yeah, pretty interesting there. But it is a very good deal if you guys consider getting that, because it is about, I would say, two-thirds the price of the Bluetooth wireless on, because they have this OnePlus Day every Wednesday, and yeah. So yes, yeah, I prefer wired ones. Yeah, in my opinion, the problem with wireless ones, they have this delay occasionally. When you're starting to play the video and then the video is loading, then it starts just a little bit after. Most of the times it's completely fine, but other times it's not. So yeah, let's go to the next thing in news, and the next thing in news is, oh, this is pretty important. You guys probably seen a lot of videos about the Realme 7, Realme 7 Pro recently. However, it got released a little bit of pretty long time ago, about 15, 20 days ago. So you might be like, well, why haven't they been talked about until now? Well, that's actually because most European reviewers actually got it basically just a couple of days ago, and yeah, so that's why you've been seeing all these videos about the Realme 7 Pro. Most likely, I believe Supersaf done a video, and tons of other YouTubers as well. But let's talk about this phone. So the Realme 7 Pro, first of all, well, already actually talked about a little bit about the Realme 7 Pro, I think, when it released. And I already talked about it when I was comparing the Galaxy F41. But basically, it's pretty close to the same, but basically what I want to talk about is that they're for pre-order in Europe. So if you are in Europe, like Spain, for example, then they are available to pre-order. And this should be, let's see, $300 for the Realme 7 Pro. And then for the cheaper one, I believe it is in the 100 something. Yeah, here we go. That would be, I don't know what that exactly is, but that's probably in the $180 price tag to $200 in US currency. And yeah, that's for 4 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage, so pretty impressive there. And then also the Realme 7 Pro actually comes with a new vegan leather color as well. That looks very nice. And you'll probably see that in one of these news things. But here is another thing about uh, knockoff AirPods. Look at this. Well, I didn't really talk about knockoff AirPods, really. I've been just mostly talking about, wireless earphones. So here's another thing of wireless earphones, and this is the Realme Buds Air Pro. And the Realme Buds Air Pro is pretty impressive here. And the price is, what is it? $70. So you're getting actually pretty good price here for pretty, seems like AirPods Pro knockoff, but if you really consider like how much AirPods Pro is and then how much, these Realme Buds are, then yeah. But then these wireless Pros are $55. No, not $55. I think I'm wrong about that. Wow, that's actually really impressive. The Realme Buds Wireless Pro has a drivers at 13.6, so that's really impressive. Considering mine has, about 9.4, I believe, or maybe 9.6, I forgot. But yeah, they have 119 millisecond gaming mode, which isn't that impressive because low latency. That's not like that low latency. So yeah. But yeah, that's the vegan leather that I was talking about for the Realme 7 Pro. And let's just see. Oh wow, there's a lot of comments here. I prefer wired ones and poor quality. I wish they made some decent wired ones. $300, 300 euro. It's like 340. Yeah, I guess 340 for it would be for the Realme 7 Pro. And then, well, no, we're actually not U.S. currency. I believe it's just 200 euros, I believe, or maybe 180 euros or something like that. But I forgot. So, yeah, but I think it's pretty inexpensive for Europe. Should be pretty similar. But yeah, let's take a look at the next thing in news here. That's not that important. I was going to cover this, but this isn't too important just because it's just another M it's just another M series phone that Samsung has been making. But yeah, so let's talk about the next thing in news. It's probably the biggest thing in news. This is the Apple is to hold the iPhone 12 event on October 13th. And so on October 13th, they should be releasing their new iPhone 12. And by the way, people keep asking me in several things, and people keep denying this, but there is not going to be 120 hertz on the new iPhone 12. And it's not going to be here until the iPhone 13. Like, I literally made a bet with someone that the iPhone 13 isn't happening. So, I mean, the iPhone 12 isn't going to have 120 hertz. Oh my god. But yeah, in my opinion, what I think is that there's going to be, first of all, the iPhone 12 mini, iPhone 12, iPhone 12 Pro, iPhone 12 Pro Max, and then you're also most likely going to get probably AirPods Studio and AirTags, and that's basically it. So really, probably going to be a short event, to 1.5 hours. So yeah, pretty small event here. So sounds like Szymanski. He is fanboy. No, he's not even, he barely even watches my YouTube channel. So but yeah, let's go into the next thing. And oh yeah, this is really important. So if you guys are on Android Go, because I know a lot of people are on Android Go. My friend talked with him in Buff. Okay, who's your friend? And I'm gonna ask him if he ever heard of this guy, because I'm gonna ask him. But Anyway, so let's talk about Android Go's camera getting a night mode, which is actually pretty impressive. I'm impressed by that. Um, so some people might be wondering which Android Go phones this is going on. This is happening on the Nokia 1.3 Wiko. If you guys don't know what that is, the Wiko, it's just another smartphone brand. It's not really that well known. It's been declining, I believe, the market a lot for Wiko, I believe. I haven't heard too much about the company, though. I could be completely wrong. So, yeah. So, pretty impressive there, considering this is a sub 100 euro phone, and for the Nokia 1.3. Now, if you don't know some specs for the Nokia 1.3, I'll put them right here. And the Qualcomm Snapdragon 215 and 1 gigabyte of RAM, 3000 milliamp hour battery, 8 megapixel camera with 720p video recording, 720p screen with a water drop notch, 5.17 inches. So yeah, an IPS LCD screen. So yeah, pretty impressive how you can take night photos on Android Go. Pretty impressive there. And yeah, so let's go to the next thing here. Oh wait, here I need to see which one. All right. I believe this is going to be the last one, and the last one is somewhere here. I forgot where it was. Where is it? Maybe it was behind. Maybe it was behind here. Let me see. Oh, here we go. The Poco C3. So this is pretty important here. So this is the Poco C3, which is a rebranded Realme 9C, I believe, without the fingerprint scanner, I guess. And it costs very inexpensive, and it's actually one of the cheap. It is the cheapest Poco phone at $102, which is very, very impressive considering what you're getting. And this is once again made by Xiaomi, but it's Xiaomi Poco, you know. So yeah. So basically, that's all that I have for GSM Arena. But I did want to talk about some things about Xiaomi, and so those things are I'm going to talk about just some extra things. So yeah. So let's boom. Wait, no. Oh no, that doesn't fill my whole screen. That doesn't fill the whole screen. Okay. Okay, I guess I'm just gonna go cropped here. Okay, whatever. So, the thing that I have to talk about today is Xiaomi, and so this is gonna be pretty important. Xiaomi is pretty interesting company, and I am going to be switching to them very slowly over time from OnePlus because I believe that OnePlus is kind of falling apart with their flagships and starting to go into the more budget category. Yeah, that's like the first thing. And then some other things that I wanted to talk about. I think I... Okay, there we go. Some other things that I wanted to talk... No, that's still... Good. Alright. Alright. Some other thing... You know what, I'm just going to give it. So some other things I wanted to talk about for Xiaomi was about their... what was it? Oh my god. Okay, I like prepared things for the GSM Arena thing, but I didn't really prepare for the Xiaomi thing. But basically, first of all, I want to talk about some specs of the Mi Pad 4 because I didn't really go through it that much. First of all, for the Mi Pad 4, you're actually getting a pretty impressive Snapdragon 660, and then you're also getting, I believe, let me think what else. You're getting 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of storage. You're getting a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, which is pretty impressive. And you're also getting, okay, my hair is like super, super, super messy today. So, yeah, but, 6,000 milliamp hour battery, and, and a 13 megapixel camera on the back and a 5 megapixel camera on the front. So basically that's what I wanted to talk about Xiaomi. Not too much there, But yeah, that's basically it. And yeah, so it was just kind of a short. We also got to the 30-minute mark, which is pretty impressive. But yeah. So basically, guys, that is it for me. Thank you guys for watching.